Hi, everybody. Lori here from My Favorite Things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a fun project to share with you featuring products that just came out in the new Office Card Kit with My Favorite Things. So I have this little card kit. This is how it comes in a cute little Ziploc baggie. And okay, so this is the Office Card Kit. What you're going to get inside of it. I'll give you just a quick little peek. There's a sentiment set. Let's see if I remember I'm not going to remember what all these things are called, but a bunch of different dynamics dies to build your little office scene. You've got a desk and a few different chairs, a desk lamp, there's a printer, and here's a little window. You can do different orientations of windows, and then some skyscrapers that you might see out the window. Another thing I love is this little sheet that gives you some ideas on just inspiration, how to put the card kit together. Also, you get a bunch of solid color cardstock in great, fabulous colors. I'll be using that on my card. There's also some add-ons. I believe this is the Sticky Note Dynamics die set, and it makes like Post-it notes, sticky notes. And then this is office greenery. Love that. Can make a couple plants for the office. Now here's a sentiment set that pairs well with the sticky notes. They're kind of a little bit larger and they fit inside the sticky note or inside a card, which is how I'm going to use one of these. They're a little bit larger than this stamp set. This is called the Cheeky Coworker. So they're a little bit cheeky and they're great sentiments to give to a coworker. So a lot of different sentiment options, a lot of different dynamics die sets, mix and match. First off, I love the office greenery. I don't know why. I just like greenery, and so that was my inspiration starting point. You actually get 3 different styles of plants. I just picked this one and I'm going to start die cutting. This is a lot of die cutting, a lot of little pieces adhering, and I kind of like building a scene. It's fun if you like that kind of thing. This isn't going to be a fast project, maybe not something you'd mass produce unless you got in the zone and you did do 10 plants, 10 pots, and on and on. You make like a little assembly line of office die cuts, and then you could put them all together. But I'm just making one card. I'm kind of a one card type of gal. Very rarely, if ever, have I mass produced anything. I like one and done, and then I move on. Even if I use the same products, I'm probably going to want to make something completely different. So you can see this little inspiration sheet that I have to the right of me that came in the card kit, and I am referring to that for my card. I like the layout. Certain layouts gives you kind of color inspiration. Here's the little window. I'm going to make a window frame out of some khaki cardstock. I'm just using almost all of the cardstock that comes in the kit, and then I did grab a few over to the side. I'm going to try to bring in as much color as I can. You could definitely use pattern paper. I put the very light blue in the window for kind of a, sky blue type of vibe. And then now this other little thing that I saw on the inspiration sheet, a little curtain. Okay. And so there's a curtain rod, all the little details, that really make it special. I took a piece of vellum for my curtain. So it's going to be more like a shade. It's going to be, it's sheer, but it adds a little bit of detail. So I'm putting together the curtain rod, and then I'll adhere this onto the vellum. And there's actually little ends on the curtain rod as well. This is all the extra little details that make it super special for an office. I don't know if you work in an office, if you have coworkers you like to make cards for. This reminds me of the show, The Office. You ever watch that one? Our family loves that show. Now here's a great desk. That's going to be a focal, and then I'm going to make a real poppin' office chair. I had in mind. So I did like an aqua desk. I know the inspiration sheet kept it kind of monochromatic, a lot of grays, which offices, usually are kind of monochromatic, but not my office. I'm going to have a rainbow office if I can. So put a little trim, and then there's also these little, what do you call them? Drawer knobs, pulls, thingamajiggies. I'm putting those on there as well. There's 3 drawers on each side, and teeny tiny little drops of glue, and this is where a little embellishment wand or whatever type of pickup stick tool you have definitely going to want something like that. Now for the chair, I'm doing the legs out of gray. But for the chair, like I said, I want to keep it popping. So I did a bright pink chair, and I think it looks great. I mean, if I had an office, I would love to. I actually do. We have an office in our front room of our house, and it just has, I have an old, it was given to me, passed down, a roll top desk. It's a very cool looking. It's beast, but it's just kind of a cherry wood, and everything is kind of wood. I would love to have more color. We've talked about updating our office for years, but you know how it goes. That's always last. Updating our house is always last on the priority for the finances when you got 5 kids. It's like one of these days we'll get new carpet. Look at this cute little clock. I did it out of yellow. Again, bringing in color. The trash can. Why not purple? And then there's extra little, these dies that cut little wads of wadded up trash paper. I did a few of those. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I also love this little pendant light, and I'm going to do a pink one. Again, just trying to bring in more color. And then this cute little light bulb, and you kind of adhere the little lampshade on top of the bulb. Again, I'm just referring to that inspiration sheet, but you can go off the grid. You can use your imagination. And so then I'm adhering that gray lampshade onto the light bulb, and then I adhere the baby pink little shade onto that gray lamp. And there you have this cute little pendant light. Just brings in more pop of color. And then I did make a little frame. I went ahead and did that off camera. It almost looks like a certificate that somebody might frame and hang on their wall, you know, like your diploma or something like that. And then, oh, I couldn't resist this. It's like a Stanley Cup. You ever seen those Stanley Cups? They're so trendy right now. I don't have one, but if I did, I would get a green one for sure. Okay, I'm going to start building my scene. First thing I'm going to do is adhere a strip of gray cardstock along the bottom of a white panel and trim that just for a little bit of grounding. You could also use pattern paper for this. And I'm kind of just laying the stuff on here to see where I want to fit it. I knew I wanted to do a vertical, or what do you call that? A portrait style card orientation. You could also do landscape. But here I'm just kind of seeing where everything fits, how I want it to do. Now here's the thing I didn't do, because I'm not always a very good think-aheader, is think about where could I place a sentiment. And in the end, I had no room for a sentiment. So I ended up stamping the sentiment on the inside of the card, but it's okay. Sometimes it's fun to just have a card with no sentiment on the front of it. You can do that. Live your life. You know what I mean? Okay, so putting a little down. I am using some Bearly Arts glue. I love it because it's got that precision needle tip, because these little doodads are intricate. Okay, and then the light blue for the inside of the window. This is just coming together. It's fun to build a scene. Yeah, it's kind of tedious, but brings back the old days. I don't know if you were a Barbie lover, but I used to have a Barbie dream house. That was one of my favorite things. Putting the room together. That's what this is, bringing back memories. Now here's the plant sitting on the windowsill, and that really was the starting point of this whole card. That cute little plant. And I feel like, I'm not going to say I have a green thumb, because I don't, but I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey to have a green thumb. And I've got one little begonia that my family gave me a year ago for Mother's Day, and I have it still alive, sitting on my desk. And it's got no blooms on it, but it's still green. I don't know. Do you keep a begonia forever? I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I should Google that. But I got it in a cute little pot. And then my oldest son just went to a wedding, and they gave out packets of flower seeds. That was like a favor. I'm not sure. But he came home and he's like, Mom, can we plant the flower seeds? So we had a little pot out in the garage and put some potting soil in there, threw some seeds in, set that next to my begonia, and wouldn't you know it, sprouting up like the dickens. So I'm not saying I have a green thumb, but I'm saying I'm on my way. Okay, arranging a little cluster of, what do we got? Stuff on the wall, decor, the clock, the certificate, the trash can. Look at these little wads of trash. And so cute, all coming together. but no room for a sentiment, and that's okay. I ended up going a little bit off the grid here. I decided I'm going to make some colorful artwork. I just wanted to do something different. Now this is a little white piece that came out of the little frame die cuts. I had it left over, and I trimmed thin little strips of solid color cardstock. Oh yeah, I'm going to strip it up and make some wall art. Just thought I needed some splash of happy vibes on the wall here. So I adhered those on an angle, trimming off the excess, and it adds a fun and festive little wall decor for your office, and kind of ties in all these colors because you've got the orange flower pot, purple garbage can, pink office chair, and it kind of brings it all together. I decided to frame it, so I adhered this stripped up square on a little piece of black cardstock, and I'm just eyeballing this, trimming it out to have a thin little black frame, and that makes it look like professional artwork. And then I just nestle that right underneath the clock. Doesn't that look cute? It kind of just ties it all together. Okay, so then I'm going to pop up this panel on a gray card base. And then now here's where the sentiment comes in. You could do anything you want. I went ahead and used that, what's it called? Memo sentiments, because they're a little bit larger, and I'm just going to stamp one on the inside. So I pulled out my Misty, the big Misty, and I'm going to use VersaFine Onyx Black ink, stamp a sentiment on the inside of the card. And what does this say here? Memo, I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So this would be a fun card you could give to if you have a coworker, or maybe you know somebody who works in an office. You know, it'd be cute. Give this card with a Stanley Cup. Put some chocolates in the Stanley Cup. Cute little. I think this could also be like a cute teacher card, or school secretary, anything like that. And I love the color. Make sure and check out the My Favorite Things blog for more incredible inspiration using this office card kit. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.